Yo, welcome back to CtrlAble. It's January 2026, and Nintendo Accessibility is doing that thing where it takes 2 steps backward and then does a weird backflip into wait, is that restricted? Today's check-in is about will player accessibility, not just menu sliders, and we've got 3 big headlines to talk about. Dispatch on Switch and Switch 2 is censored with no toggle. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is getting same-sex relationships plus non-binary options while also restricting easy screenshot sharing. Nintendo's bringing Virtual Boy Classic to Switch Online with a physical accessory and some big accessibility questions. Let's get into it. What helps disabled players, what hurts, and what Nintendo needs to do better. If you're into accessibility breakdowns from a disabled gamer's perspective, hit like, subscribe, and drop your own experience in the comments. So first up, Dispatch, the narrative superhero workplace comedy, just hit Switch and Switch 2. But the Nintendo versions reportedly have the visual censorship setting forced on with no way to turn it off. Now, quick clarity, this isn't me trying to debate what content should be in a game. This is about access and agency. For accessibility, options matter. If there's a toggle on other platforms, it means the devs already built a user choice system. On Switch, that choice is gone, and players are saying it's distracting and affects the vibe of searching. And from an accessibility lens, here's the part that matters. Taking away toggles can be a barrier, not just for mature content, for any content. Here's some examples. Some players need to reduce visual clutter for cognitive overload. Some players need control over filters and presentation because of sensory process. Some players want consistency across platforms so they're not blindsided. Also, the backlash grew so loud that people reportedly sought refunds and pushed for more transparent labeling. But here's the bigger issue. This issue is with transparency. If someone or something is different on Switch, it should be clearly disclosed before purchase in the store description and marketing. If players have to learn mid-game, that's not just annoying, it's an accessibility problem. There's also speculation that regional weighting rules like Japan and single global builds might influence how versions ship on Nintendo platforms. If that's the case, I get the production reality. But again, tell people up front. If Nintendo wants to meet platform criteria, fine. But don't remove user control when it already exists elsewhere. And if a toggle can't be offered, label it loudly. Next up is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. This one is genuinely huge. The game is introducing same-sex relationships, allowing me to be male, female, or non-binary, and letting you set dating preferences across those options. That's not just representation, it's access, because being able to exist in the world as yourself without having to work around the system, that's meaningful. But then Nintendo also announced restrictions on image sharing features. The reporting indicates that transferring images to smartphone, posting directly to social media, and automatic uploads on Switch 2 won't be available. And from a disabled creator standpoint, that's frustrating for 2 big reasons. One, sharing is accessibility. A lot of disabled players share screenshots to ask for help, show a bug, document UI readability issues, or even create guides for other disabled players. Adding extra steps such as SD card, PC transfer, etc. turns quick share into I'll do it later, which often becomes I won't. 2 is weirdly inconsistent. Nintendo's explanation is about out-of-context moments being misunderstood, but the platform already has tools, parental controls, reporting systems, and even account restrictions. So if the goal is safety, I'd rather see better reporting, better moderation, or even often sharing restrictions for a child account, instead of removing convenience for everyone. Nintendo, the inclusivity move is a W, but if you limit sharing, at least give us accessible alternatives like an in-game gallery export, QR code, or a safe share mode that doesn't require extra handheld and hardware stuff. Now let's talk about the Virtual Boy. Nintendo confirmed that Virtual Boy games are coming to Switch Online plus expansion pack starting February 17th, 2026, with a dedicated accessory that lets you insert your Switch or Switch 2. And yes, it's iconic history, but as a disabled gamer, I immediately think, what posture is this asking my body to tolerate? Because accessibility isn't just about settings, it's about ergonomics. The accessory might be fun for a session, but if it encourages hunching, neck strain, or awkward position, it's automatically limiting for a lot of players with chronic pain, joint issues, fatigue condition, mobility limitation. Nintendo's adding modern features like rewind and control remapping, which is genuinely helpful. And there's also a feature that allows color changes instead of the classic wet, but it's tied to the accessory implementation. If Nintendo wants this to be playable and not just a novelty, they should ensure these same games are playable without the accessory, even if in 2D. Include strong comfort guidance and session reminder, and expand visual options like contrast, brightness, and color filters as standard, because retro cool shouldn't come at the cost of somebody's body. Here's a quick rapid fire before we wrap up. Disney Afternoon Collection is coming to Switch and Switch 2 on February 26, 2026, and it includes rewind and save anywhere features that are quite a accessibility win for retro difficult. Also, whenever Nintendo or partners include things like remapping, rewind, save state, adjustable text size, that's a real quality of life boost for disabled players. But my watch list for 2026 remains better UI scaling across games, consistent controller remapping at system level, fewer one-size-fits-all restrictions, and more transparency when versions differ across platforms. So that's the January 2026 check-in. This patch highlights the problem of losing player choice on Switch. Tomodachi Life is bringing genuine inclusivity, but also adding friction for sharing. Virtual Boy Classics can be fun, but ergonomic accessibility needs to be part of the conversation. What matters more to you for accessibility? More options and settings, or a better design that needs fewer settings? And if you're new here, I'm CtrlAble, and I cover gaming accessibility, Nintendo, and how these choices land for disabled players in the real world. Subscribe if you want more of that.